Hi Fox, how are you doing? Today in the second round of the Olympiad we had most strong players playing their first games on the first boards or of their national teams, and as well as Carlsen, Aronian, Caruana and Kramnik. We also had Vasily Ivanchuk, the first board of Ukraine, playing his first game in this tournament against Frode Urkedal, an international master rated 2500 from the second team of Norway. So we have this young boy Frode Urkedal with white pieces against the veteran and ever creative Vasily Ivanchuk with black pieces. Let us see what happened. Urkedal plays knight f3 and we have the Dutch with f5. So white tries to go for this dangerous gambit with e4, d3, preparing it. And guess what? Ivanchuk goes with a kind of a strange move, knight c6, which is not very usual in these positions. Now black usually plays knight f6, and there is lots of theory going on here about how to take this pawn or not, how to defend against all the threats white usually has in this position. But okay, Ivanchuk is Ivanchuk, he's very creative, and he plays knight c6. Now e4 seems not to make that much sense anymore, and d4, a paradoxical move, is what Urkedal plays instead. Now that the c pawn is blocked by black, so there is no way this pawn is going to challenge the white's d pawn. So white considers this to be a very good way of losing a tempo. Now that the c pawn cannot move so far, Ivanchuk plays e6. We have some normal moves, g3 and d5. Black is kind of building a stone wall without the c pawn, and well, seems a playable position, fairly refreshing position, at least in my database. And creativity keeps being the norm here for Ivanchuk. Rook b8. The rook goes away from this dangerous diagonal, light square diagonal, and also he has probably the idea to play b5 to control this c4 square, to make c4 difficult for white, and as we were gonna see, this is going to be a crucial point in this game. White castles, knight f6, developing moves, bishop f4, putting some pressure on this diagonal, and there it goes, b5. Ivanchuk is trying to control c4 a lot to avoid white from playing c4 and having full control of these light squares. Urkedal so far plays b3, keeping c4 under the move c4 under in the possibilities of being played. Bishop e6, everything is going to be focused on this c4 move. Black is trying to avoid it at any cost. And queen c1. Bishop d6 is played here, and knight bd2 once again, aiming at c4. Ivanchuk castles, e3, and knight e4, jumping with the knight into a beautiful centralized square. Rook e1, getting away from this diagonal, and queen e7. There are some dark squares here, potentially very weak for white, so with the knight possibilities of jumping here, the bishop could go to b4, have some problems, so a3 has its sense here to stop either black knight or bishop from jumping to b4 and creating problems. Black plays knight a5. I guess c5 is what Ivanchuk is trying to play now to liberate his position and definitely have a comfortable position, a nice game here. Bishop f1, rook b6, c3. The pawn is protected, of course, with the knight on b3. So white has a little bit restricted position, but more or less not without that many weaknesses. Of course, black seems to be a little better here, more space. Now he gets g5 playing, forcing this exchange, and gets the open c file for his rook if he wants to. Now b4 is played, and I think knight c4 was pretty logical here. Seems very natural to me, putting a nice knight here, but never mind. Ivanchuk goes back to b7, and white tries to do something. He has pretty much a little cramped position here. He tries to break the only pawn break he gets here with the a pawn. So a4, rook c8, a little bit of pressure here on the c file, forcing more or less white to take on e4, f takes, knight to d2. Now Ivanchuk tries to go with the knight to other places. He wants to relocate it probably through f7, try to play e5, a takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, rook takes. Of course, there is a pin here, since black is threatening to take here. And in fact, here Urkedal, Frode Urkedal with white pieces plays the very beautiful and very creative move rook a3, defining the path of the game. In fact, sacrificing in a very beautiful style his queen. Rook takes b4, c takes b4, and rook takes c1, rook takes c1, a crucial point of the game. In fact, having already a winning position for white, it seems, because, well, queen b7, but now rook ac3, completely culminating the c file and combining this control of the c file, the bad position of the black knight and black king. White is going to achieve very soon a winning position, as we're going to see. Knight f7, but now rook c8 check, forcing the king to g7. Rook 1 to c7, absolutely controlling the 8th and 7th rank. Ivanchuk, of course, takes on b4, but after knight f1, denying black any counterplay on the black rank against white king, Ivanchuk just, maybe a little bit surprisingly, but resigned. And if we look carefully at the position, we may understand it, because white's plan is pretty clear. He's going to double up rooks on the 7th rank. Black is in danger of losing even his knight, and this pawn is not going to be very important, as white could go king to g2, reactivate his knight in some way, and this pair of rooks are really going to be going to be very going to do lots of damage here on the back rank, on the 7th rank, with lots of power combining their protecting themselves. And the queen is going to be pretty much useless here to create anything, because everything is protected here on the white king side. So there it goes, a really strange move, a strange game here by Ivanchuk, and, well, losing his first game on the Chess Olympiad 2014 in Tromsø. And really a fantastic achievement from Frode Urkedal, an international master from Norway, second team of Norway, young player from Norway, beating Vasily Ivanchuk from Ukraine. Thanks for watching.